All right, looks like we're
Oh,
live.
there's already somebody in there, I think, VT.
Yeah, we got 16 people.
All right, well, welcome everybody to the RV Odd Couple Live. We have not done a live, and I don't think we've ever done a live Q&A ever since we've been doing this.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, so we posted on our private community this morning that we were going live, and we got a question that we have gotten for 18 months, more than any single question that we've ever got.
Yeah.
And the question is, you know, how do you have sex in an RV when you have kids, right?
Yeah,
and without getting caught? It's a great question. And the reason it's a great question, share a little bit of my own experience, is when I was a young man.
Where are you going with this?
No, the way I learned about it, was forced to learn about it, was I actually walked into my parents, and it was traumatizing. It really was. At that age. And the next day my dad presented me a book, and he started to teach me about making love and the union of a marriage, and you know, that sex is a blessing. It's a blessing from God. The name of the book was The Joy of Sex. Is the book my dad gave me. I think it was in the 1970s. But
oh my goodness.
Long story short, they started asking the questions because we always going to serve up the RV Odd Squad's questions first. But then somebody asked the same question that we've been getting by private email and in the comments. You know, somebody, you know, there's a lot of younger families jumping into the RV lifestyle now, and if they have kids, it's a big question mark. And you're not going to just pull into an RV park and go up to a neighbor and say, "Hey, how do I have sex in an RV?" You know, it's just something you're not going to say off the top of the cuff. So we did a little research on it. No one's ever done a video about this, and we think that we're grown up enough to do it respectfully. You know,
We hope we're definitely not grown up enough to do this respectfully. We're going to try our best to talk about this because people would really benefit, because if you're RVing with your family, you go on this adventure and you're like, I am going to be with my family 24/7. Yay.
Right. And the blessing is that you're with your family all the time.
Yeah, but the hard part is that you're with your family all the time.
Right, you need a little intimacy for you and
there's no
your
date
husband
night.
or wife. There's no date night. Makes it a little bit trickier.
No babysitter.
Yeah, so we put together 7 things. We kind of sat down together
and he put together 7 things.
But I bounced them off you to make sure.
I'm not responsible for
just tips about how not to get caught in the RV, because as you guys know, the walls in the RV are super thin. You also have to consider your neighbors, because you really don't want to hear that from the next door neighbor. So consideration is always a big deal. And so we're going to talk about planning, preparation, and consideration. We're going to talk about experimentation, because you're going to have to figure some things out. We're going to talk about creativity, get a little bit more creative. Timing is critical.
I'm sorry,
right?
Mom.
Especially you have kids.
I'm sorry, Mom. I should probably just say that now.
Obviously, you can't really talk about rocking the RV without talking about stability, right? Stability. And then ultimately a contingency. We found that we had to have a contingency plan if Sage was coming our way. Now, we're grateful. Sage has never caught us, even come close to catching us, because we're very, very sneaky about it. And to be honest with you, we really rarely ever make love at night. You know, it's usually in the day when
you have to distract your child.
Yeah, we've got plans and we've got a whole system set up to distract her.
You know, just like you have to be ready for like all these situations, like a flat tire and like all this stuff, and you have to have so you know.
Yeah, it takes planning. It really does. But before we jump in, we just wanted to let you guys know we got the new shirts out.
Yeah.
RV Odd Squad. I don't know if you can see Mercedes.
Well, no, you can't.
You gotta get the hair out of there. Yeah. And then the back of the men's. Oh, that's $5 goes to U.S. Honor Flag Network, Chris and Cindy. And then here's the back of the men. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So order your shirt. Be proud to be a member of the RV Odd Squad. RV Odd Squad members are kind, considerate, and always looking to find someone that they can help. Pretty much. That's it. And so we love the RV Odd Squad. We love the community, and we decided we'd roll the dice and try to answer a question that nobody has. Okay.
Yeah. And so quick thank you to Matt's RV Reviews. He just gave us a super chat. Great channel.
$5.
And I just made you a moderator, and a lot of you moderators, you guys are gonna have to work extra heavy.
Yeah, you guys
today, because I can only imagine what people are gonna say. I mean, we're gonna have fun tonight, and this is a grown-up topic. Taking our toys and living. You guys are moderators too now.
Yeah, so anybody, if there's any filthy people that come in or comments that are just inappropriate, please delete them. And we go back afterwards, and anybody who left a nasty comment, we will block you from RV Odd Couple anything for the rest of your life. You'll never be able to get in. So have a little bit of respect. Know that we're really, truly, as we always are, really trying to help moms and dads that are considering this lifestyle and really can't find an answer to that question, and that's a big question. And then finally, one more announcement for our RV Odd Squad Palooza that is happening at Royal Coachman Resort down in Nokomis, Florida. It's on the West Coast. It's going to be September 11th through the 13th. We're hoping to have a whole bunch of RV Odd Squad members there. We're going to have a dance. We're going to be a live band. We're doing a cookout. We're doing a pool party. Obviously, social distancing across the board. We'll work out all the details with that. And we're super excited about it. We got a ton of stuff to raffle off and give away that big companies had sent us for free just to get the products in front of the RV Odd Squad. And also, you know, obviously they're good products that we use. Nobody comes in and stuff that we don't approve of. Go ahead. What?
No, just some questions here are already really funny, and so I'm really looking forward to this. And we're going to answer other questions too, but obviously, like the first question that people had.
So read the question that we had today. So this is the question that was read this morning.
Okay, so Carlos and Natalia ask, I debated on whether or not to ask this question or not, but we're all adults here, hopefully, so I'm going to ask anyways. So we have never lived in an RV. We plan to purchase a fifth wheel. We are 2 adults and 4 kiddos. Ages, and this is the important part, ages 14, 12, 4, and 4-year-old twins. So does the RV move a lot? Will the kiddos ask, why is the RV moving in the middle of the night? Sorry, I know if I have this question, many others do too. Is there something that can stabilize the RV or get 100% close to that?
Yeah, and I think he did a great job of posting a question without using the word sex, and everybody knew everyone in the stream knew what he was talking about. So he's the guy and the reason why we finally decided to answer this question tonight and just talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, and we got really good answers here. Earthquake.
Okay.
And I think that's where the ages come in, because I could look at Sage and with a straight face, if she asks me why did the RV move, I could be like, there was a lion outside. You know?
Thanks, babe.
I could say that with a straight, you know? But at 14 and 12, it's a gust of wind. Yeah, at 14 and 12, it's not going to fly anymore.
No.
I mean, but the good news is that by 14 and 12, hopefully they can be babysitters, you know, and you can like run off like teenagers.
And just like everything else, everybody's going to have their own specific experience, right? Their own circumstances. Some kids will be older, some kids will be younger, some kids know what you're doing, some kids don't know what you're doing. You may not want the kids that understand what it is to know what you're doing.
Exactly.
And so it's just everybody's going to have to figure it out for themselves, but this starts with planning.
Yeah.
You really got to think about it.
You have to have a plan. You know, you got to get your spreadsheet and you got to like calculate your numbers. That's not what I meant to say. Oh my goodness. Okay, you talk. I'm not talking anymore.
So the next piece, obviously, is preparation, right? You got to have a plan. And there's a lot of different ways that it can be done privately, quietly, always having consideration for your neighbors. You don't want to make a lot of noise, especially if you have neighbors that have kids, you know? And so preparation is key.
But does the RV rock? Well,
yes.
I mean, hopefully it rocks, but you can also counteract the rocking with stabilizers and stuff like that. But it's like, it does rock. I mean, even just like just walk through, have one person walk through the RV and the other person lay down and feel if you can feel just the motion of walking down the hall.
So a couple of tips about stabilizing your RV. Someone in our group earlier today talked about it is a really good idea if you have your master bedroom over the pin box, because you can order a tripod that will really stiffen that up it'll stiffen up the front of the RV so it doesn't move as much. Another really important point is when you set down your landing gear, you want to set the RV as low to the ground as you possibly can. The longer that landing gear is, the more movement that there's going to be in the landing gear. So you want to drop it down as low as you possibly can, typically on blocks, so that it's not going to move all over the place.
Yeah, and so I think this is not an instructional or one of our how-to videos. This is not a 4-part series, okay?
No.
This is not.
This is only to help those parents that are too embarrassed to ask the question, you know?
We're all acting like little kids here. This is pretty funny. You know, well, I don't know. You gotta have fun. You gotta have fun.
And so let's see, so stability, yeah, you just basically, our first RV was directly over, our master bedroom was right directly over the pin box, and now we're in an RV where it's in the back end. We're sitting in the kitchen, the pin box is directly underneath the refrigerator.
It's totally
That's
different.
where the RV is the most stable. Also, wheel stabilizers are gonna help to keep the RV from moving. But you know, you're just gonna have to do the best you can, and you're gonna have to get creative, you know, if you don't want to get caught. Another great idea is to put a lock on your bedroom door, and don't you know, make sure you do a lock that you can break into if it accidentally gets locked or the kids are trying to get in that way.
Yeah.
The other thing the best way it works for us is when Sage takes a nap, which she really does, or we will give her something to watch on her iPad, you know, diverter, and then we use a baby monitor with a camera to watch where she is.
So you still know what your kids are doing,
right?
Because you obviously, you know, need to make sure they're all safe.
You don't want to get caught. You just don't want to get caught, and you don't want them to know what you're doing, right? But obviously, when they get old enough, you want to hopefully teach them that, you know, making love is a beautiful thing and it's a gift from God.
But they need to like be away.
But
far away.
and tell them not to tell their younger brother and sisters too, right?
Oh yeah, you had that with the.
Yeah, my parents told me, and then I told my younger brother and my sister.
So if one kid knows, just assume that all of your kids
They're probably
know.
all gonna know, yeah.
So I think another big question about this too is that you know, the RV, as far as the walls being kind of thin, you should test it out and like turn on the TV. And one of the things that you'll notice is you'll be inside the RV, the AC will be on, and you can't hear the TV, right? But then you walk outside of the RV and you can totally hear the TV perfectly outside.
Right.
That's a good way to kind of test the noise without testing the noise.
Exactly. And another great way is do your laundry. If you have laundry in your full-time RV, or just run your washer machine and dryer. That's always a great excuse as to why it was rocking at night.
Yeah. And
if you don't have a washer and dryer, get one.
Yeah. Or
you got to get one.
Or just tell people that you have one, even if you don't. Just say, oh, that was doing laundry. No, actually, we joke about that in our Honeymoon's Over video about why the RV is rocking. Oh, and speaking of RV etiquette, as far as like noise and all that kind of stuff, there is a saying in the RV world that when the RV's knocking,
when the RV's rocking, don't come a knocking.
Yeah. So that's just, you know, good etiquette.
Yeah. And the truth is, 3 of us full time, our washer and dryer runs constantly. So
yeah,
it's not a big deal. Sage is only 4 years old. We're just coming into those years now that we do have to be very, very careful of not getting caught.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people here are just laughing so hard. Like they're just all these jokes are coming on about like.
Are they keeping it clean?
They're keeping it.
All right.
They're
awesome.
You know, like it's just a little mischievous, but it's super respectful. Nothing disrespectful. But definitely, we have a funny group. The RV Odd Squad has a good sense of humor.
Yep.
You know.
So I think that's really as far as I was gonna go with this.
Well, we have a lot of other questions though too
that we're gonna answer.
Like,
but you guys might ask. Oh, one more thing. If you guys have any tips or techniques on how to be very careful not to get caught by the kids, leave them in the comments section below. Believe me, this is going to help somebody.
Oh my gosh. Apparently a lot of people are in agreement that doing laundry is code.
Yes.
You know, and I think this is one thing that will impact more the full-time families. Most people are being our couples. But, you know, if you have the grandkids come over, you know, and you're giving your children time to enjoy themselves and you're exploring in the RV with the kids, it's like...
And remember, we always have a tent outside. And you got to be real quiet when you're in a tent, though, and you also have your vehicle. So
we got some questions. Do you feel pressure to get things done quickly? Well, you definitely have to have a plan, and you have to know what you're going after, and
Yeah.
like, you know.
And then you gotta have, here's the contingency, right? You have to have a bug out plan in case you're about to get caught. So you gotta have a plan and things ready so that if the kids do wake up or they do come for the door, you gotta have a contingency to get ready super fast, or at least obviously cover yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of like everything in life, you know, practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect, guys. But I think if you know, obviously just be considerate of others, not just your kids, but your neighbors.
Okay.
We've heard this before.
Yeah.
All right, what's the matter?
I just need to talk about something
Okay,
else
go
right
ahead.
now.
Go ahead.
Okay.